You know what's amusing to me is that no matter how hard I try to avoid politics on this channel, because quite frankly, this is not the time or the place to talk about such things, yet I consistently still have politically obsessed nut jobs bringing that to me. You see, because at some point, people became incapable of separating politics from their entertainment. Somehow people will take an opinion you have about a movie or TV show and contort it into fitting into their own narrow-minded ideology. They will make a judgment about you or your character based purely on their own insecurities and their inability to hear a different perspective. It's like they are trying to rationalize what they are hearing, and the only way that they can do so is by judging and labeling people. I don't know if this problem that has gone on for years now is going to be better or worse or the same after this election. But I do know this, if some of the reactions I'm seeing prove anything, it's that a good chunk of people haven't learned shit. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
If somebody brings up something that actually is legitimate, I'll even have a conversation with them about it because I'm actually into interesting thought and I don't have to even agree with you. Oh, but that's an interesting point. There has become a thing that's gone on, it seems like in this, especially this last year, where ideology is more important than art.
Way more, certainly to the awards.
Yeah.
The reason I felt compelled to make a video like this, even though I've tried to avoid these subjects in the past, is quite simply because I'm tired.
I'm tired, boss. Mostly I'm tired of people being ugly to each other.
I'm tired of being attacked over my opinions. I'm tired of being labeled over my opinions. I'm tired of some people acting like their perspective is the only one that matters. For what seems like years now, people have been voicing their displeasure with the current state of the entertainment industry. Now, the apologists will say that this is all just made up in people's heads. But you see, reality tells a much different story now. If this past week has taught us anything, it's that the things you typically hear on social media, or even sometimes in your YouTube comment section, is not representative of how real, everyday people think. The people who thrive off of division and toxicity are the real minority here. And now we have real-world proof of that being true.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
I've seen a lot of cope over the past several days, especially from people in Hollywood. And I think it has a lot to do with them coming to the realization that they just aren't as important as they thought they were. How often do those people talk down to other people and act as if they know what's best for everyone? It happens almost daily, and even the most apolitical person like myself gets tired of hearing it. It pushes people further and further away from a place where we could potentially find common ground. People do not want to be talked down to, people do not want to be preached to, and people do not want their intelligence insulted. Especially by out-of-touch rich people who think their mere presence is enough to sway public opinion. We are officially in an era where celebrities do not hold the cultural relevance that they once had. And that is their own fault.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
People especially do not want to be talked down to and preached to in the very entertainment that they typically use to escape from all of the real-world BS. Now, you would think that Hollywood and the media would take this as a learning experience and not be so quick to alienate people in the future. Whether that actually ends up happening or not remains to be seen. But I've already seen some outlets once again doubling down on their bullshit, even post-election. I came across this article that is titled, "Will Hollywood Turn to Bland Escapism Under Trump? Hollywood and the American art world are still processing Donald Trump's decisive win in the US presidential election and wondering how they should respond." Well, I'm going to stop you right there and tell you exactly how you should respond. You should respond by putting your head down and simply going back to work like a normal human being. A presidential election should have little to no bearing on how you make entertainment. If in fact your main goal is to entertain people.
It's true.
The article goes on to say Trump's victory, a landslide, in every way, makes it difficult to condemn him and his supporters. From a Hollywood perspective, doing so would limit your market. Hollywood, in particular, has been reluctant to make art that could alienate huge swaths of the country that voted for the once and future president. The industry is not likely to take such a financial risk now. Are we really going to sit here and pretend that we haven't had entertainment for years now that blatantly insults a good portion of its audience? How do you think we got to a point where consumers are actively avoiding what Hollywood puts out? They are even ignoring the actual good movies that Hollywood puts out. And it's all because Hollywood over the past several years has chose ideology over storytelling.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
The article goes on to say that the election also showed the limitations of artist activism when it comes to swaying voters. Do you mean to tell me that celebrity endorsements don't mean shit? Color me surprised. When it comes right down to it, I do not care about a celebrity's political beliefs. If you are a celebrity, you are more than entitled to have your opinions just like everyone else. But some celebrities recently have shown us that they are incapable of accepting other people's opinions. And that is precisely why a majority of people do not care what they think. The article continues, seeing the size of the MAGA audience, the studios may lean into movies and series that play to that crowd. The strongest inclination for American stars that this time around may be simply to turn away from politics and produce more bland, lowest common denominator entertainment that is less likely to offend. Here's a thought, why do we have to make content that appeals to any specific group? Why not just do it like Hollywood used to do it and make movies and shows that appeal to everyone? In the past, even when there was content that was geared towards a certain demographic, if it was good enough, you would see crossover appeal. Because that's how it works. Also, by removing heavy-handed politics from entertainment, that does not necessarily mean that the content is then going to be bland. To me, that is the politically obsessed hive mind talking. I've watched and loved many films over the years that have a deeper meaning to them. And that meaning is usually contained within the piece of media so well that it's basically left up to the audience as to whether or not they want to see it or not. Competent creatives have been doing this for decades. The issue is that the industry is now overrun with incompetent creatives who have no idea how to properly deliver a message.
Message!
At least not in a way that doesn't come off sounding insulting. I'll be the first one to tell you that I have no interest in the least common denominator entertainment that we currently get a lot of. But I also don't have any interest in watching something that insults my intelligence. The sooner Hollywood can find a middle ground and learn how to tell stories again, the better off the future of entertainment will be. Yes, for those who don't know, most people watch entertainment as a form of escapism. But as an industry, if you continue to find ways to break that illusion, then people will continue to lose more and more faith in you. And the sooner you learn that, the better.
Y'all be cool. Right on.